Could I watch my peers climb the corporate ladder as I potentially failed as a founder? This was one of the most profound discussions I had months before I left Google in 2015. It was March 2015, and I had just told my manager that I'm planning to quit to start my own company. And he said I should go meet this other ex Googler who had left a few years ago to join a startup as a founding team member. As it turned out, it was his job that I had actually replaced at Google. And so we had something in common in terms of the teams we handled, even though we had never met before. So I go meet this guy over coffee. We have a really nice conversation. We're talking about Google, we're talking about his startup journey. And suddenly he says, look, one of the tough things you'd have to endure is that you'd have to watch your peers getting promoted and having a really good, successful corporate career while you could potentially be going sideways and feeling stuck as a founder. I ended up thinking about that conversation for a long time after that meeting, and I asked myself the question, how am I going to feel about this? And I said, I'm ready to handle it. As it turns out, this is an area that I've been able to handle brilliantly well. I have not looked back at any point of time in the last 10 years and I've regretted my decision or I've felt like I missed out on the corporate ladder. My peers have gone on to become VPs at these companies. Some of them have left and gone to OpenAI. Some of them have become C-level execs, even at trillion-dollar companies. But I've been okay with all that. But at that time in 2015, I had no idea what the gravity of the real situation I was getting into was going to be like. 5 years of zero pay, 5 years of 30% pay, and so many almost at the finish line that didn't materialize for one reason or the other. So it's been a rough journey. It was my choice to pursue this path of extreme uncertainty and financial instability. Walking away from big tech and adopting the startup lifestyle meant that I had to genuinely change the meaning and purpose of life. It's been so worth it to discover that we could build and scale a product from 0 to 100 million users, that we could build the careers of hundreds of people, that we could inspire a dozen young new entrepreneurs. In fact, there have been about 13 people who worked with us who went on to then become founders, and some of them have been quite successful. And it's been simultaneously humbling to discover that we could have funding issues despite exceptional product led growth. We could reach the finish line several times and still fall short. We could question everything and still start over again. Because entrepreneurship isn't about the wins, it's about who you become through the losses. I sometimes ask myself, would I do things differently if I started over now? And the answer is no. The highs are higher, the lows will take you out, but the growth is unmatched. Entrepreneurship isn't about building companies, it's about building a version of yourself that can build companies.